So up to you. So we can either show the score as we go, or we can show the answer explanations as we go.
Yeah, we could do it as we go.
Okay, let's do that. Then we can be done when
Yeah.
we're done, right? Okay, so which of the following securities is typically sold with a legal opinion attached?
Oh, I can't see it.
You can't see it. Okay, well, let's.
I still see like the dashboard.
Oh, you see the dashboard. Okay, hold on. Let me stop share. Boom. How about now?
Oh, okay, I can see it now.
All right. So
This is C.
correct. So you definitely need to know that. I just got debriefed the other day, Rachel. And make sure you also know that the feasibility study goes
For
with
revenue.
well, yeah, with the revenue, because that's
Yeah.
Festival, and somebody just saw that the other day. Which of the following may not lead to an industrial development bond being called? An industrial development bond being called. Oh, this one's kind of tough.
A.
Yeah, this one's really, really tough. You know, a lot of these questions like this one are about distinguishing between muni GOs and revenues. And so this is asking you, one of these things doesn't go to a revenue bond. And the thing that doesn't go to the revenue bond is the statutory debt limit.
Okay.
The statutory limit goes to a GO bond. Now, I don't like the way they asked that, but, you know, fair game.
Okay.
So that was a tough one. That was really tough. Ooh.
If I don't get this one,
Well, you know, listen, when I go, ooh, I'm like, wow. If I were in charge, the test would be weighted, and you would get more points than 1 point for this. You would get maybe 2 or 3 points. So this is testing you on 8 things you got to know about a spread, and this is testing you on identifying a spread. So identifying a spread.
Okay, so it's definitely not 4.
Let's see. 4 says long in August 40 call and short in August 50 put. That is, I love it. So you are correct, and you're using a trick I call process of elimination, and that's pretty
that
helpful,
would be,
by the way.
Yeah, that would be a straddle.
Well, that's not a straddle, actually, but that's okay. It's not a spread. That is called the same side of the market. That's called the same side of the market. But you're right, it's not a spread. So you can eliminate 4. So, okay, you got a 1 in 3 chance now.
Let's see. So I think a spread is if you're long and short a call or a put.
Well, that's right. Long and short a call or long and short a put. So it's going to be either.
So it would be 1 and 3.
Excellent.
So it would be
Excellent. Good job. That was a tough one. So the choice two is a straddle with different strike prices, and that's a combination. Wow, good job. That was excellent. The net asset value of an international bond fund can be expected to increase.
Okay. I want to say D as in dog.
Man, you are on fire. That's a tough one too. Excellent.
Okay, these still get me.
Man,
Like,
I'll
but
tell you,
it's there, but I'm still like.
Listen, you had 2 very high-end questions that you should feel pretty damn good. You only get a point, but I told you if I were in charge, I would give you more than a point. I don't want to disappoint you because you're doing so well, but you don't get multiples of multiples on the actual Series 7.
Yeah, I took it. I got a 64 on it last year.
Oh, there you go. So you know, you've been into the cave this late, so not telling you anything you don't know. A foreign company that exports its products to the United States wishes to protect itself during a time in which the US dollar is expected to be devalued. The company should
So the foreign company should sell US and buy foreign, I think.
Yeah, so if I'm a foreign company, I'm afraid that the
Mhm.
dollar is going to go down, right? So I want to get rid of
Down.
my dollars. And if my
Mhm.
dollars are
And
going down, that means my foreign currency is going up.
up.
And so that would be
So
2 and 3.
okay.
Securities transactions take place in the primary and secondary market. Which of the following investment companies can trade in both? They can trade in the primary market and the secondary market. Kind of tricky. I think this one's kind of tricky.
I want to say a UIT.
Well, it's actually a closed-end fund because remember the closed-end fund is going to do a one-time IPO. And
Okay.
that would be in the primary market. And then once it does its primary transaction, then it would be trading in the secondary market. The UITs, you can do them in the secondary primary. It's just that that's not as good an answer as C, the closed-end fund,
Okay.
right? So technically, then, whenever the answer says technically, that means it's not, not really a bad
Right.
miss, right? So they're telling you why your
Mm.
miss is a miss. An investor purchases a GFC January 40 call at 4 and sells a April 30 call at 9.
Okay, these I have to write down.
Yeah, well, definitely,
I
whatever
like to write
process you
it
got.
down like on top of each other.
Not a
Or,
problem. That's what I would recommend.
okay, this is so the months are different and the strikes are different. A diagonal.
Perfect, man. I'm telling you, you should feel really good, Rachel. You've got every
I
high-end
hope
judgment
so.
question
Try to
correct.
get this stuff. I want to get
I'm
this
telling you,
done
that's
so
pretty
bad.
impressive. That's pretty impressive so far. Remember, you were absolutely. By the way, I would encourage you to keep writing things down. I had a very
Yeah.
bright guy who had a process, and to be honest with you, he didn't need to write it down, but he did. I mean, he had a process. He stuck with it, and so whatever process is working for you, as you know from your
Mhm.
previous attempts, you're not going to run out of time. You might run out of
Mhm.
right answers, but not time. So, you know,
Yeah, I had about 40 minutes left.
yeah.
So,
So, like I say, you should be in
yeah.
pretty good shape. An open-end
Okay.
investment company can do all the following except
I know they can do A and D.
I like it. 50-50 process of elimination. Excellent.
Can they borrow? I think open end is only stocks, not bonds.
Excellent. Excellent. That's exactly right. One class of equity. So I just wish that you had more confidence in your voice because you're always right. So, if we could just give her
That's
that little,
part of
you got
my
that little,
problem.
you got a little bit
Yeah.
of lisping like, issue bonds. So,
Yeah, I
as they
know.
say, fake it till you make it. I was teaching class last week, and people in the chat kept putting question marks. And I said, do me a favor, for our 3 days together, instead of putting a question mark, I want you to put an exclamation point. I will
Mhm.
know it's a question mark, but I want you to be confident in your answer. So when you're putting something out there, put it out there. Put it out there. Excellent.
Yeah.
An investor sells one DEF November 65 put for 4 and buys one DEF November 70 put for 8. This position is known as
Okay, this is a buying of the put is dominant, so that's
Yeah, I think what
fair.
you said you were going to do. I don't know if you're doing it, but I like
Yeah, I
it.
wrote it on. Yeah, I wrote
Yeah,
them
so
each on
I
a
like that. I'm a
line.
big fan of that. I sell one DEF November 65 put at 4.
Mhm.
And then I don't know if you do it this way. I like to stack my legs this way, put the higher strike on top and the lower strike on bottom.
Yeah.
November 80 put at
Oh,
8. And you were
70
correct that is the
70,
leg.
70 or yeah, 70,
Oh, you're right. It's 70. My bad. I was just seeing
but
it. Paying
still
attention.
more.
And then boom, boom. Okay, so there it is.
So it is well, it's a debit, but the dominant is the purchase of the put,
You're correct.
which is bearish,
You're correct.
and the strikes are different, so it's vertical.
Excellent, excellent. And by the way, you did a lot of the other things that you're required to do on the test. The other thing you're required to do on the test is what you did, which is that is a debit spread. Remember, there's 8 things you got to be able to do. The debit here is 4. Debit, exercise, widen, right? And then you need to know the gain and loss adds up to 5. Of you you spend 4, so you make 4. Your break even is 70 minus 4, 66. And you were correct as bearish. PS, this drives me nuts at Kaplan, but nobody would do this spread because it makes no economic sense. Right?
Yeah.
As it says here, remember with the letters BL, buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high.
Right.
All right, excellent. You're doing a really great job. Okay, let's see what our next one is. Let me clean this up.
You've helped me a lot. I mean, my mentor is like, just keep doing the exams over and over, and I'm like, I need to do other, like, I need,
Yeah, I wish
can't just
people would,
do.
I don't know where that, it's been for years that we don't know that doesn't work. I just don't know why people,
Yeah.
in the old days, that was kind of common thing. I don't know who your mentor is, but geez, it's not helpful. If you can understand it, it's a little
Right.
easier. When a customer transfers the proceeds from the sale of one fund to another within the same family of funds, what are the tax consequences? What are the tax consequences?
I think it's B as in boy.
No, you every time you do that, it's a taxable event, assuming it's not in your 401k. So
Okay.
if that was in your retirement plan, you would have been correct, but not in a
Okay.
personal account. A
Okay. So
personal
at the
account.
transfer date. Okay.
Yeah. So that was your first kind of miss. No big deal. You're getting the hot. If that was recognition, you're getting the judgment questions.
Yeah.
Which of the following option positions would reduce the risk on a long stock position? Which of the following would reduce? So you already bought the stock.
Okay. So I just have to think about my chart for a second.
Love it. Yeah, the
Uh,
matrix will definitely work here.
so buying a put
You're correct. Roman numeral 1.
and selling a call.
Excellent. I am very impressed with your options answers. Very impressed.
I have it in my head, that
Yeah.
chart.
Well, the chart works, right? So, like I say, writing out chart, whatever's giving you these right answers, stick with it. A city's day-to-day operational expenses may be met through the issuance of.
Operational. I don't think it's B.
You're correct.
I think it's either A or C.
What's your flash response?
A.
Yeah, always go with your flash response. If you watch game shows, good test takers always answer quickly and they go with whatever their flash response was. So, excellent. That's the muni equivalent of borrowing against receivables. TANs do show up on the Series 7. XYZ Technology Fund permits rights of accumulation. A shareholder's invested $9,000, signed a letter of intent for $15,000. If his reinvested dividends during the 13 months total $720, how much must he contribute to fulfill the letter of intent?
Okay, this is gonna be tough. D.
Excellent. That doesn't count. You got to have new money. It's got to be new money.
Right.
Excellent.
Okay.
An investor can consider purchasing a bond. He has decided on either a 6% municipal bond offered in a state in which he lives, or an 8% corporate bond offered by a company with headquarters in his state. He would like you to help him decide which bond will get him the greatest return on his investment. Which of the following information must you obtain before you make a specific recommendation?
This would definitely be the tax bracket.
Yeah. By the way, that also is a trigger that if it was in the question, that it's going to be a muni question, right? So
yeah.
Excellent. DWQ declares a quarterly dash dividend of 20 cents after the X date. What will be the exercise price of a May 25 call?
Okay, so the annual is 80 cents. After the X date.
Your answer is?
I think I'm doing the math wrong.
Well, that's the trick. There's no math to be done.
Yeah.
We don't adjust orders for cash dividends or options.
Okay.
So I think you were thinking this was a buy limit at 25. No. Right? We adjust orders below the market, but we don't adjust options for cash dividends. So it's a trick. It's a trick.
Okay.
16, one of your customers purchased a muni bond with a basis yield to maturity. Basis is the fancy word for yield to maturity. Several weeks later, the bond's basis is now 3.21. So the yield to maturity has gone down. Which of the following statements is true? Which of the following statements is true?
Okay, so it went down by 14. So the yield to maturity has fallen by 14.
Right on.
And interest rates have decreased.
So if interest rates went up, and you are correct, the bond went up. So excellent. You're doing really good on these judgment questions. Really good. That's 14 bips, the difference between 335, excuse me, and 321. So it was the yield. The bips, basis points, bips always mean yield. So excellent. Excellent. For a customer who has purchased stock and wants to write a call option, the order ticket would be marked. This is very much a test answer set. There's no draw of the test in which you're not going to encounter this answer set.
For a customer has purchased stock and wants to write a call option, it would be an opening sale.
Excellent. Excellent. When an institution wishes to take a large position in muni bond issue, but does not want its activities to be well known, it would generally make use of. Kind of interesting. I haven't had anybody in a long time tell me they've seen anything like this, but it's, it's within the test specifications.
Does not want its active. The broker's broker?
Yeah, broker's broker protects the customer's identity, indeed.
Mhm.
A city and school district are coterminous. When evaluating the debt issues of the city, the school district debt would be considered.
Double barreled,
No, I think,
overlapping.
yeah, overlapping, right? They went two or more
Yeah.
taxing agencies. That you should still feel pretty good. This performance has been very, very good. So, I'm not worried about you, but it's not double barrel, it's overlapping. And that too is testable. That's what
Okay.
coterminous means, living together. European style foreign currency options can.
I think they can only be wait, hold on. I think they can only be exercised and traded at expiration.
No, you can
Or
trade them
no,
any. Yeah, you
they
can.
could be, yeah, 2 and 3.
Excellent. I think that was excellent performance. I don't know if I submitted you wrong answers. I don't think I did. I submitted only the right answers, but you didn't miss many there. I probably should have put in your wrong answers so we get a good idea. But as you know, a paid professional, tutor,
Yeah.
coaching call, office hour person, I think that was a really great performance. If I were talking to somebody backstage about that performance, I would say I'm really